ICE is out there deporting illegals, cleaning stuff up, and the Democrats don't know what to do. Nationwide deportations, and everybody's wondering what is FBA going to do to save the day. And I'm telling you right now, we're on the couch and we're not getting up.
The price of freedom is death. We're coming to get our check.
Welcome, my brothers and sisters, to the Afro YouTube channel. Okay, I appreciate every single last one of you all for being here with us. We have much to discuss this evening. Okay, this is going to be the last live stream of the month. We've had a very up and down roller coaster month, very eventful month. All right, and I think we can close the month off pretty good. I want to start off by first off thanking y'all because we've had a record-breaking month. You know, they took it down, you know, and behaving, but it's okay. We had a record-breaking month. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for that. Good news though. Good news. Coming up next month, I got some equipment coming up. So we're going to make some improvements. I got some new technology coming in, is shipping in. So next month, we're going to really going to make some good improvements for the channel going forward next month. I want it to be a surprise, but letting y'all know that a little in advance. All right. So I'm excited and I hope you guys will be too. I hope you guys will be happy when you guys see the improvements and everything, when y'all see the new upgrades and stuff like that we're doing next month. You know, it's going to be a good rollout next month. So thank you guys for that. All right. I want to get started by saying where everything we play thus forth, and just to get this out the way. So before we start rolling, everything we play is protected under the guise of fair use. Everything, every single thing. So I'm going to play for you all the copyright disclaimer to establish to YouTube that everything we play thus forth, every clip, every video is protected under the guise of fair use. Now, what is important for you all to do is hit that like button. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button, leave a comment, all that good stuff. All right. So we'll be right back. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Okay, all right. So ICE, baby. I'm just playing. Let me not get started. Let's be professional. We're not celebrating anybody's demise. We're not doing that. But we got to talk about it because ICE is out here. They seem like they on the roll. They is on the roll. Now, there's been talks about ICE coming to Chicago, and I kind of said, yeah, hey, ICE need to come to Chicago. I kind of been saying that. And apparently they up in here. So we got some footage. I want to show you. We got some footage of ICE and up there. They making a presence, and it's not. At first, it was like ICE is sneaking around the borders of Chicago. ICE is doing it now. Nope, ICE is making it be very well known that they out here. They out in the clear and everything. People got video footage. Let me show y'all some of the footage. Okay, let me show y'all this. I mean, that you just sit up there walking down the street, just all daylight. Okay, I ain't gonna play too much of this. Y'all just watching soldiers walk by. It's not very interesting. Okay. But then, you know, you got some illegals that running away from ICE. Look at this video real quick. Oh, they running. He got him. He got away. He got away. So they are all up in here and they are like, oh my God, the terror. Because there's a lot of protests going on. It's a lot of protests going on all around the nation and all around that. And people are wondering, where's the FBA? Where are y'all at? We need you guys. You guys need to be here protecting us and helping us. We're all in this together. When I hear that, I just remember one video. Do you guys remember? I think some of y'all know the video that I'm referring to. But I remember one specific video, and I got to play it for you guys. I remember one video where they said that, hey, they don't want FBA involved. I remember that. Do y'all remember it? Let's do a little reminder for people, everybody asking where FBA is. Remember this?
A lot of videos of black people making fun of Mexicans for what's happening right now with Mexican people. I have also seen black people make videos talking about Mexicans. Don't come to us for help because we're not helping. First of all, Mexicans are not alone. They have Honduran people, they have Salvadorian people, they have Guatemalan people, they have Nicaraguan people, and a whole bunch of other countries that are willing to join forces with the Mexican people. Black people, what makes you think that Mexicans are going to come running to y'all for help? What for? Y'all black people can't even help yourselves. That's wild. Mexican people are hardworking people. Mexican people stick together. They make it work. That's the total opposite of a black person. You want to call me racist? Go right ahead. I'm just keeping it real. Like I said, Mexican people are not alone. They have all of us. What makes you think that a Mexican will say, oh, okay, well, we have the blacks. Let's go to them. Come on now. Y'all don't even trust each other. What makes you think that a Mexican will trust you if you don't even trust your brother? Get your popcorn ready and watch how Mexicans make this work.
Well, okay. Well, no, I just remember that. And I remember them saying, get your popcorn ready because I'm gonna show you guys how this works. And they were saying that to I remember that. I remember that. So you know, he said he gonna I had to get the popcorn. I got some popcorn. Okay, not the big bowl, just a little bit. Everybody, can we get some popcorn in the chat room, please? Can we please get some popcorn in the chat room? Because they said sit back and let them handle their business. They gonna stand on their business. So I'm gonna have some popcorn. We're just gonna analyze and we're gonna see how they handling everything. Okay, so let's look at this. Okay, all right. Okay, hold on. Everybody got their popcorn.
What country are you from?
From Republic of Georgia.
How did you get here?
Don't answer his question.
You don't know how you got here? What's your reaction to ICE detaining you now?
We can contact to let them know what's happening.
What's your reaction to being detained?
Where's he going? Is he going home?
You don't have to give any information.
Excuse me, sir. What country are you from?
Why don't they say the country?
How'd you get here?
I'm gonna need some more popcorn.
Sir, what country are you from? Okay, country.
Georgia.
Where?
Georgia.
Georgia. How'd you get here? What's your reaction to being detained now? I'm sorry.
No tiene que responder
Move,
ninguna
please.
pregunta de ellos, ningún documento.
I didn't realize there's a second one.
Oh, that's not it. It get bad because you got some of the stuff going on at protests. Have y'all seen that? The stuff going on at protests, they out there kind of deep. Now, this is not just Chicago, but this is Portland. There's stuff going on all over the nation. Okay, they deportating folks all over the place. Everybody getting home. Everybody going home.
You are. You're all lined up. This is ICE right here blocking road for you. This is ICE right here blocking the road for you. Spread this out. This is ICE out here blocking the road for you.
Spread out.
No, I'm glad to see y'all. Hold on for 1 second. Put my popcorn down. You know what I like to see? Or what I don't like to see? I don't see no black folk there. all of these protests you see a very small, really none in some of these places. You see no black people. There's a huge there's a huge lack of a black presence there. There is a void of black presence there. All of these protests and some of the stuff get wild. Y'all just stay there. Hold on, let me pick my popcorn back up. Y'all just stay there. Hold on. There's protests going on. So some of the protests get a little rowdy. Some of them get a little rowdy.
Why are you pointing? You're fucking walking right at people, you fucking toad!
Oh! Oh no! Oh no!
Trying to deliver aid.
Y'all really got me eating this popcorn, yo. I'm so serious. I'm smacking on this popcorn. I'm so serious. This popcorn is good. It's just a tragedy that I'm watching this happen. But, you know, this popcorn is really. How's y'all popcorn? But my popcorn is really good. Hold on, they get another guy a little bit later too.
You more criminals will see your day. Enjoy your stupid little power. You know what happens to war criminals? They get hung. Or they get the firing squad. I hope you're all ready for the firing squad. Maybe we can get you tried in Iowa. How about that? All those crimes y'all gonna commit? Firing squad for all y'all.
Folks are getting shipped out. Deported. Let me tell y'all, there was one video I'm talking about. This one was like, it was dramatic to see. I saved the best for last. Not the best because I'm not bullying nobody, but the most interesting, I feel like, for last. Oh, there's a couple other stuff. I mean, I'm talking about it's not looking good. Actually, I got a couple more. Hold on. It's not looking good for none of them. It's not looking good, y'all. It's not. I got to take some of these videos down. I forgot how many I have up here. Oh God, it's not looking good. But how's your popcorn though? That's what I want to know. How your popcorn is. You know, I know we're all sad, but I just want to ask maybe to lighten the mood. How your popcorn is? How's your popcorn, guys? Oh look, they carrying this. He's not even walking. This guy not even walking. This guy, they carrying his hand. One guy got one arm, the other got the other arm, and the other dude carrying the leg. Like the body is unconscious. This how bad it is. They ain't not even walk. You listen, hold on. Can I just say can I just say something? Will I be in trouble if I say it? I might be in trouble if I say it. I'm not gonna say it. No, I'ma say it. I'ma say it. I'ma say it. When we had the civil rights movement, right? You had children who had water hoses and dogs and things like that set on them, sprayed with water hoses from fire trucks, canines biting all over them, people, the police beating them with batons and all of that stuff. And some of these were children, okay? And you still ain't never seen us go out sad like this. This is not a good look, man. We ain't never been sitting up there where one person got one arm and we sitting up there like a rag doll being hosted off to the ice. We ain't never gone outside like, and we was like, and they were attacking us illegally. They was doing a whole bunch worse to us. They sitting up there with little pepper spray and stuff like that, like stay back. You know what I'm saying? They doing that to us. They were spraying us with fire hoses. Okay. I'm talking about water power so strong it can knock you off your feet. And all these people is doing is getting pushed, and they oh no, and they falling down, getting carried around. Y'all, this is just not. Come on, man. I just gotta say this imagery right here. What do you? Okay, oh Lord, come on now, come on. Maybe we just can't relate to this. I don't know. Maybe this is how they get. We just can't relate. I can't relate to this, man. I mean, they out there deep. And this now I want you to look at the crowd. How many black people you see in it? I don't really see no black folk in the crowd. I don't really see no black people in the crowd. No, let's analyze the crowd again. I don't see no black people in this crowd, and I see a whole bunch of white liberals and folks covering themselves. I guess that's for the pepper spray and the gas and all of that stuff. But you don't really see no FBAs in that crowd like that, which is why they out there looking like this. They out there, but I'm talking about they looking bad. Oh, they looking bad. Now, y'all told us to get our popcorn ready because y'all said y'all was going to stand on business. Y'all not even standing. Y'all not even walking to the truck. Y'all being carried away, arms and feet. Come on now. Come on, what are we doing? They carrying you like a rug to the ice truck. They deporting you like you just an item to the ice truck. Nah, I don't know. Come on. Come on, this ain't it. Y'all said get your popcorn ready because we standing on this business. I'm waiting for it. I just don't see nobody standing on no business. You ain't even standing. That's what I want to know. Oh, when I tell you they ain't standing on business, folks is hugging their families getting deported. Look at this, y'all. Look at this man, he left court, about to be deported, hugging onto his wife. I guess his wife is not being deported, but he's struggling to hold on to his wife. It get rough, y'all. It get rough.
Suerte, suerte, señora.
And this is something I don't like too. They got the kids out there for sympathy. The kids are out there for the camera, for photo ops, and I don't like that. Stop using your children for photo ops. If you're doing something wrong, you're doing something illegal, stop using your children for photo ops because y'all want sympathy in the media, y'all want sympathy in the news, and y'all want to have your kids out there be all like, daddy's being deported, wait by to daddy, no, papi, no. And y'all want to do that in front of the cameras to make it seem like what's happening to you all is so inhumane and cruel and unconstitutional. Come on, don't do this. And that's traumatizing the kids. I don't even like it. Don't do that to your kid. I don't like that, man. That's not cool. Don't traumatize your kids because you don't want to go back to your own homeland. Don't do that. That's not, I don't respect that. I don't. He's hugging his wife. You got the kids there. This is how they going out, man.
Suelta la niña. 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 No estoy haciendo nada. No estoy haciendo nada. No estoy haciendo nada. No estoy haciendo nada. Open the door.
And the wife was crying. Then there was a violent incident that happened. I'm not even going to show that. I don't, because this channel doesn't promote violence, so I'm not going to show the violence. But a lot of people are sitting up there upset about that. And what the Democrats are doing, because the Democrats are losing and they need to get Trump out of power. So what Brandon Johnson is doing is Brandon Johnson is out there trying to kind of re-campaign. So he went to an event, and I was there. I was there present at the event. Me and Ms. Jackson, we were there present. I took some footage, but the audio was kind of janky, so I had to I got 20-something minutes of footage of him and other aldermen, but the audio was kind of bad, so I was only able to get a couple good seconds towards the end, right? But Brandon Johnson, what he's going to different schools for is to rally people for the midterms, because what he understands is that they need a real big boost. The Democrats need a real big boost to fight off all of the ICE deportations. So Brandon Johnson and the Democratic Party, they're out there going to different high school. I'm talking about, this wasn't college. This was a high school. They're going to different high schools to rally people and talk about, we're fighting the establishment and we're uniting together and we're doing this. I went there. There was folks with Obama shirts on and everybody was clapping and all that stuff. Listen to this. Just listen to this part, okay? Because this is the part I got for you. And he saw me and Ms. Jackson. We were sitting up there. Didn't even know he was going to show up because he was in DC the other day. The second he saw us, we locked eye contact. Him, the other alderman, they didn't even get off the stage. They ran out the back when it was all said and done. There was no Q&A. There was no meet and greet. There was no pictures. There was no nothing. But listen to this.
To build a pathway of the safest, most affordable big city in America, I need your feedback. Don't give up on this fight. And lastly, aren't you glad that we live in a city that can fight and stand up against tyranny?
And it was a whole bunch of, and I don't like that either, because what they're doing to the young children is very similar. Follow me, y'all. Is very similar to what Charlie was doing, going to different college campuses, and in this case, this is a little bit more nefarious because you're going to a high school and you got 15, 16, 17-year-olds who don't own a home, don't even have a job, a lot of them, and I'm not dissing them. We were all 16, 17, 18 at one point in time. We didn't have no money. We didn't know how the economy worked. We didn't know about politics. We didn't know about legislation, and we didn't. A lot of us didn't know that at 15 years old. A lot of us didn't. Okay, but what they're doing is they're taking a lot of Black, in particular, because they didn't go to a Hispanic community in Portis. They took a lot of Black children and stuff, and they said, hey, do you want to be involved in helping your community? And of course, a 16-year-old who's gonna yeah, I want to be involved in helping my community and fighting the power and doing what's right. Okay, well, put on this Barack Obama shirt, okay, and Mayor Brandon Johnson is gonna be there, and he's gonna be talking about how the city is united together. And that indoctrination, this is Democratic indoctrination. And they're starting early because they know the FBA community. We send up there, we pushing this movement, okay? This movement of empowerment, this renaissance that we're having is growing faster than they can control. They can't control the narrative because channels like this, why y'all gotta like, but channels like this and others are pushing the narrative more than what they can control. So they have to resort to going to high schools and trying to start early. They all like, hey man, we can't, all of the people in that age demographic, they're gone. We got to go early. We got to get the 15, 16, 17-year-olds. So in a few years or so, they will already be so indoctrinated. It will be hard for them to to break out of our grasp. So that's what they're doing here, which is why they have a thing where everybody claps on cue and everything to make it seem like these people are not a part of the establishment that is literally disenfranchising them and literally gentrifying them.
South Shore, the South Side, the West Side, the Southwest, Northwest. South Shore, the South Side, the West Side, the Southwest, Northwest. We are standing strong for the interests of working people, black, brown, white, Asian.
Did you hear that? We're standing in the interest of working people. First off, when they say working, that don't mean black. And they're not referring to black people when he's in up there talking about we're standing in the interest of working people. He's not referring to black people. He said that first. Working people first. Then black, brown, Asian, white. So this is all. Now he went to a black school to talk about some all lives matter thing that he's doing for everybody. Listen to it again. I know it's hard to make out. I was only able to get these few seconds clear, but I know you guys can hear what I'm saying and what he's saying.
Interest of working people, black, brown, white, Asian.
Oh man, you saw all of that. Oh my God, it was really unbearable. It was unbearable. But he goes on. He had a press conference afterwards. I only got like a couple of snippets because the press conference is like 18 minutes. We're not going to be here for 18 minutes of his press conferences, but listen to some of the things he says. Now, in the press conference, you can see these yellow shirts, the person in a corner. If you look in the corner, there's like a yellow thing right there. That's a shirt. And they were all wearing the Obama shirts and they were all yellow. So he's bringing on some of the students for photo ops, really. And people from the school for photo ops. But listen to what he has to say when they're asking him about really the gentrification going on in the South Side because of the Obama Center. Obama is the reason. Obama Center in Chicago, for everybody in Chicago, that's the reason for a lot of this mass gentrification going on in the South Side. And it's been going on from 2015 to the present day. And Brandon Johnson and all of the rest of the Democrat establishment, they all understand this. They all know this. So they're sitting up there acting as if they're for the people and they're fighting the power. That's what they're acting like. Okay, but they're not. They're not.
For Southside Weekly today, wanted to ask about the CBA. Do you support similar set-asides in other gentrifying neighborhoods? And can you comment on the foundation itself not supporting this CBA?
Well, look, I can't speak to someone's intent or their desires or commitment. I only can speak for myself, and what this pilot program is ultimately doing is protecting seniors. We're talking about individuals who are on fixed income, right? And look, we're also talking about communities where they're overwhelmingly working class folks, brown and black folks. Now.
Remember I told you guys to start noticing that? I told you all, start noticing how he keeps framing brown and black. Brown and black, especially when he's doing a press conference. Brown comes first. He always says that first, especially brown and black folk. Just notice, Brandon always does that. This is not a once or twice. He makes it a point to do that.
Working class folks, brown and black folks. Now, as far as, how do we make sure that development happens without gentrifying communities? It's doing the work that we're doing, green social housing, ADUs, these agreements with.
Now, creating social housing, that's public housing, okay? That's like Section 8. That's houses that the community is not going to own. He's doing this because that strips the community of home ownership. And he knows he's doing that because that further pushes gentrification. And guess what happens? Because black people don't own these homes, if the rent goes up or if something happens where Brandon Johnson has already made the city of Chicago more expensive. Chicago as a city, even not even to say the residents, but Chicago as a city is more expensive under the administration of Brandon Johnson than it was under the previous administrations because of his legislation. Now, don't forget, Brandon Johnson tried to raise the property taxes on Chicago because he allowed the city to go into debt with over $1 billion fighting for illegals. Now he's going to sit up there and act like he's some type of advocate for the city. Let me play this other clip.
Interested parties that recognize that our #1 priority right now is to build the safest, most affordable big city in America. Look, let's just walk through the record here for a second. Paid time off was a promise. We made it. We did it. Abolishing the sub-minimum wage, a promise. We made it. We did it. Right? Ensuring that we have green social housing, it's a promise. We did it. The ADUs, promise. We made it. We did it. This agreement with Jackson Park and individuals who could be impacted by gentrification, we made a commitment. We did it. Right? Every single promise that I put forward to ensure that we build the safest, most affordable big city in America, we're accomplishing it.
Do you guys remember Brandon Johnson also promised he was not going to raise property taxes? He promised that. And then he turned around and tried to raise property taxes. He swore up and down in his campaign that he was not going to raise property taxes. And then next thing you know, after the whole debacle with the illegal immigrants that he prioritized, he said, well, yeah, it seems like we're going to have to go up with property taxes. Remember that? That's what he tried to do. So we did it. We've been doing our promises. That's a lie.
We had an historic action today where over 200 years collectively of time in prison, jail, we were able to settle that case. No other administration in the history of Chicago has been able to accomplish that. The $1.25 billion bond investment to build more affordable homes and economic development. We have an airport that is breaking records every day. Hotel occupancy is up. Tourism is up. Ridership on our trains are up. And violence is down. I mean, I hear you, but government is still functioning. Look, there's a lot of work for us to do, but you can't sleep on the fact that our investments, I should have mentioned mental health and behavioral health service as well, that the investments that we have put forth based upon promises that we have made for communities that have been historically neglected for decades, we are fulfilling those promises.
Okay. Yeah, no, he's lying. And all of this, I want you guys to understand, all of this is because he's trying to re-indoctrinate people into the, he's trying to re-indoctrinate and create this new brand that the Democratic Party needs in order to, especially for the youth, needs in order to win any future election. That's what he's trying to do. And he's out there. Let me pull this up. Hold on. Because he was at some event and Angela Rye was there. I'm going to pull this up. Angela Rye was there. She hosted some Democrat Party event thing. Let me see. Angela Rye hosted a Democrat Party event. Where did she put this? Because she just put it on her. Let me pull this clip up for you guys. Pull this clip up for you guys because she was just hosting that. Let me see. Okay, hold on. Where is it? Because I just had it here. Okay, hold on. Well, as I'm looking for that, what just happened? Oh, okay. Never mind. The thing froze for a second. Okay, so the thing froze. Angela Rye was out there trying to host a platform where she was advocating for she was advocating for the Democrats, and there was like a Q&A thing where they were advocating for the Democrats. The video is coming up. The video is just taking a little bit of time to come up for a second, but the video is coming up. They were just there in DC. Come on. Well, that's fine, and that's absolutely fine. Okay, Democrats are done. All right, hold on. All right. That's okay. Well, we'll play that in a little bit. That's fine then. So we'll move on to this subject because this is something else that I saw was very interesting. Skipping past that, we wonder why we don't want them over here, because this is the energy that we get when they come over here. This is their energy when they come over here.
You working. No more money for you. Bye-bye.
Go back across the
No more money for you. It's lazy. You lazy. No more money for you. You working.
They need to know who they talking to. Lazy is crossing the border, begging for money. Lazy is sitting up here acting like you're an asylum seeker when the only thing you're doing is running to another country, standing on the plight of black people, using our laws, using our plight, using our issues to get ahead. That's lazy. Lazy is sitting up here breaking into abandoned buildings to live in.
Okay, yeah, that's lazy. Yo, I found the video. I found it. It took me a minute. Shout out to Miss Jackson. It took me a minute, but I found that video. Let me show y'all this. Okay. Boy, the Tethers and the Shields, the Democrat Shields, they out here and they busy. Y'all brace yourselves, y'all. Y'all brace yourselves. So, yes, indeed. Okay. So they back out here. You got Angela Rye. You got, what's his name? I forgot his name. Angela Rye. What's that dude in the middle's name? Damn, the fact that I don't remember. And then you got Roland Martin. They all there at the National Black Congressional Black Congress convention and all that stuff out there, shilling for the Democrats, trying to get everybody ready for the midterms next year.
Who didn't understand that you have to cultivate the next generation with your platform. Is stupid to me to build something.
Do you hear that? That's why I wanted to play that. This is what Roland Martin, the first thing he starts saying. Andrew Gillum. Thank you, Andrew Gillum. Why did I forget that name? Y'all check. First off, hold on. Let me give a round of applause for the chat room, because y'all just so smart. Anytime I forget a name, y'all be on it. Let me give a round of applause for the chat room. I appreciate. Sometimes it's a lot of names. I appreciate y'all. But Andrew Gillum, notice the first thing Roland Martin says: cultivating and getting the next generation, the younger generation. This is what they're trying to do. Get the quote unquote next generation. Let me play that back.
And then when you retire, for black people who have black platforms, who didn't understand that you have to cultivate the next generation with your platform, it's stupid to me to build something. And then when you retire, it goes away.
Yeah.
And so all that infrastructure, all of that stuff that came with it. And so so it was all intentional from day one, and it still is.
I love it.
I think, Ro, you are so crucial to the community. You're integral. And it was interesting because in our survey...
First off, what the hell is Roland Martin wearing? Is that me? Is that just me? I first thought it was a dashiki, but the thing got a long cape to it. Is that me? What is Roland wearing? What is that? It's all like this gold, there's glitter to it. It's got this long roll. I thought it was a dashiki first off, and that's kind of interesting. He's the only one wearing it. What? Okay. I don't know what he's okay. All right. Can somebody, oh, Lord. Okay, we're just gonna listen. We're just gonna let me not be distracted. Why y'all let me be distracted? Let me not be distracted. Let's get back to the video. That just threw me off.
Roland Martin also came up a lot, and I think we shared the biggest audience with you. And when people stop me, I think they all think we live in like one big dorm.
Right,
people are always
like it's a Big Brother house. It's a Big Brother Black media house.
All the time.
We need that though. That would be dope.
Yeah,
actually.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the first time I saw you host was Roland Martin's show. I remember you had all the members of Congress on there. The first show I did was yours. I used to do Fox News.
The first show that Laura Coates hosted was mine.
Oh, yeah.
The first time Nia Malika Henderson did TV was mine.
Oh, wow.
The first time April Ryan got paid as a contributor was mine.
Oh, I love that.
Sure,
Well, I didn't get paid.
I didn't get no money neither, bro. Oh, you get
that was them. I didn't control it.
Yeah.
But even conservatives, Gianna Caldwell, Sir Michael Singleton,
Michael, yeah.
Even Paris.
So we got you to thank for that. We got you to thank for that.
Armstrong Williams.
So you're talking about. So again, but it's intentional.
And how the people that he's listing off people, these people don't stand on business. What is these people's stances on reparations? What are these people's stances on our lineage? They sitting up there like, oh my God, Roland, oh my God, you've put so many people. Roland ain't put nobody on who stand on business, because Roland don't stand on no business. Roland don't put nobody on who, first off, more than likely not a tether, because Roland is a tether. And definitely Roland is not going to put nobody on and co-sign them if they're not a Democrat shield. Because Roland is a Democrat shield. So they are like, oh my God. And you put, wow, Roland, you were really here from the beginning. Man, dude, all of this stuff make Roland look bad if you really think about it.
Because I saw how white producers and white bookers know we don't know them. And I'm like, okay, but they're great. And I remember when Tiffany Lofton, came on the show, and then she's the AFL-CIO, and they came to her and she told my people, don't tell Roland. So they literally said, oh no, we're going to send someone else, not you. And then my producer told me, I said, what did they say? I said, I need to explain to them, I didn't invite them.
Yeah.
I invited you. They don't get to pick who comes on my show. Yeah. And I had to check them. And I was like, no, I picked you, not them, and let them know.
Roland is, okay. Roland is always saying he quote unquote checking people. Do y'all notice that? Roland is always saying he's always checking people offline. Roland is forever checking somebody. He's always putting his foot in somebody's behind offline. Nobody ever sees this aggressive, no nonsense. You don't get to play with Roland. He's always doing that offline. Yeah, I had to check him. I've been letting them know that they can't play. They can't play with me. He's always doing that. Nobody buys that Roland Martin is out here just checking everybody and he calling the shots and running. Nobody's buying that, dude. Not in the dress you're wearing. This dude came out in a more glittery outfit than the females, and he's talking about, yeah, I have to check them. They know not to play with me. Okay, all right.
Know that. And so, again, I see how the game is played.
Yeah.
And there's so many people, all they want is a shot. What did James Brown say? He said, don't hand me nothing, just open the door, I'll get it myself. I believe you have to open the door, you got to kick it open, and you give folks a shot. And there's some people I put on, gave them a shot, they sucked.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
absolutely.
Say, bro, this ain't what you do. But other people, I've worked with them, like, hey, work on this, work on that. And again, I don't even, if somebody goes and does another show, I'm fine. If they leave, people who work for me, I'm like, no, you should leave. But we have to create opportunities for more people. And I just think that there are too many Black folks who like being the only one.
Yeah,
who like being the center of attention. And I'm like, nah, I want there to be 30, 50, 100, 200. And the people who I help, I want them to do the exact same thing to bring on, do the same thing, because that's how we now build scale.
Well, we thank you.
I appreciate it.
I want to ask you this too. The second part of this week's theme has been power, policy, and progress. Where do you grade us right now, Ro? And I'm talking about us is not everybody, because they not like us, but like the Black community. Where do you grade us right now?
Right now, our people literally.
Us is not everybody, because they not like us. That sounds like delineation to me. It's very interesting that y'all will use that and y'all will utter certain things or imply certain things about like delineation and us and all of that stuff. Y'all not even a part of the lineage. I'm not 100% sure of Angela Rye's full lineage, but she's a Democrat shield. And when we talk about immigration, all four of them at this table sit up there and cape for immigration, talk about how immigration is necessary, and talk about how much the jobs are needed and they're the only people willing to do the job. So now you want to talk about some us. We were the ones talking about we need specific policies for us, and Kamala said no, and all 4 of them were crying when she lost. So I'm not trying to hear no, well, you know, they not like us. I'm not trying to hear that from Angela Rye. I swear to God, I'm really not.
Really, you said it, pissed off, in shock. A lot of our folks are still there. The folk were tripping. So 2 days after the election, I'd already processed it and moved on. And they were like, what are you doing? I said, the election's over. I have to focus on the next election and then the next election. And I could not allow myself to allow the rage. But so what's happening is our people are frustrated, but they're frustrated because, and I literally hear this everywhere I go in this country, and I am always on the road. They are begging for leadership.
Yeah.
They're like, who is drafting the plan?
Yeah.
Who is telling us? They're like, we want to do something, but they don't know what to do. And I have no problem saying it. Our civil rights organizations are frozen. Our business groups are frozen. People are afraid of retribution. They're afraid of being attacked. They don't know where to go. And what I've said to the groups that don't get lots of attention, this is your moment.
Yeah.
This is your moment. And what we keep trying to have is we keep trying to have the macro conversations versus the micro conversations. My whole deal is, as an election in Virginia, if the Dems keep the House, Don Scott remains Speaker of the House. If they control the Senate, that black woman, Louise Lucas, controls all the money. If Spanberger, who needs to do more black media interviews, becomes governor, they now will be able to pass a bill in January to put on the ballot to restore voting rights without the governor's permission, because you have to do it in 2 consecutive years.
Yeah.
So that's the impact. New Jersey go to an election.
Yeah.
I made it clear, Mikey Sherrill, you need to start talking to black people because the poll is tied. Same thing. Next year, now we're talking about not just midterms, city election. There's a mayoral election in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're gonna skip past some of that. We're gonna skip past some of that. You know what I'm saying? Because they go on for a minute, but this is the indoctrination. This is the indoctrination. This is what they're trying to do. They're trying to indoctrinate, and you hear them getting ready for the midterms, getting ready for the next election. This is what they're trying to do, because right now they don't have no leadership. And we've been discovering that Kamala is out there. Y'all should see Kamala's out there doing bad interviews. I'm talking about she's not looking good. She's really not looking good. Kamala's out there trying to do something. She's not looking good. Roland's out there. He's not looking good. A lot of these people are not looking good. These people are looking sad. All of this stuff is sad. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to find some type of way before the midterms to regalvanize their audience. And it's not working. It's not working because they keep ignoring. He said the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room is foundational Black Americans. And if y'all ignore that, y'all not going to win nothing. Y'all won't win anything. Y'all thinking y'all can create some type of other monster or something. Y'all won't win anything if y'all don't have FBA. And y'all can play if y'all want to. I promise you it's not going to work. I promise you. Now, hold on. Now, what's interesting about this is that the whole panel didn't mention reparations one single time. They didn't mention reparations at all once. Okay. All right, then. That's fine. Let me tell you something. As far as FBA is concerned, we don't want to have nothing to do with nothing they got going on. We don't want to have nothing to do with that. We need to be focusing on our lineage, because the thing is that they will invite a lot of these tethers. Not to say everybody's a tether, because I don't want to be accused of bullying nobody, but they will invite these tethers, and these tethers have disdain and vitriol for our lineage. Come on, StreamYard, don't do this to me. Why y'all StreamYard be just doing some stuff I don't like? I don't like when StreamYard do that. Okay, come on. Let me show y'all this. I'm sure a lot of y'all have seen this. But in recent days, okay, let's take a moment. Okay, in recent days, our beloved sister, Assata Shakur, has passed away. She's transitioned. And you had this tether out here denigrating Assata Shakur, this Afro Latino tether,
Buck,
while they
I'm
want
not
to
too
talk
broke.
about how we need to fight ICE and we need to care about immigration and all this and that. This is the Afro Latinos that we got to deal with.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm not too broken up about Assata Shakur's passing because I find it very ironic. You pick an African name, you flee to a Latino country for asylum, but what the hell did you actually do for us?
Mind you, she lives in America. Talking about what did you do for us? You live in America. Just keep that in mind.
Assata Shakur was for self, much like a lot of those Black Panthers. That's why they were dismantled. You use the struggle.
And here's the thing: if they were for self, they wouldn't have been dismantled. Organizations that are for self, groups that are for self, they don't get the government doesn't go out of their way to dismantle groups that are not productive to the society, to Black society. There would not need to be a damn COINTELPRO where they're sending agents to to plot assassination attempts, not even attempts, and have people be executed in their sleep. They would need to be doing that if the Black Panther Party was quote unquote for self. They wouldn't need to be locking people up for decades and decades and decades for nonsense. Okay, they locked Fred Hampton up for stealing ice cream, which he didn't do, stealing ice cream. Okay, all of this stuff they talking about, well, if y'all was for self, if they was for self, the Black Panther Party would still be around today. How you know they're not for self is because all of these people would be in high positions in the government right now if they were all for self. Who's for self are the Roland Martins and all of the Angela Rye's and all of the Democratic Shields and all of y'all Tethers. Y'all are the ones who for self. You all are benefiting off of the sacrifices that's been made. I am too, but at least I'm a part of the lineage and I will pay homage to it. We are benefiting off of the sacrifices that's been made by those people, by all of those people. All right. She is too, which is why she's here, which is why she gets free speech and she gets these rights and she gets these programs and she gets these benefits and she gets all of that stuff. Talking about you're doing stuff for self. Okay, let's continue.
Struggling and suffering of Blacks to further your own movement. And before you get all pissed off, let me explain something to you. A lot of y'all that are Black in this country, the Black Panthers, as radical and loud as y'all are, baby, you would not have been accepted. The Black Panther Party did not like anybody who was LGBTQ. They didn't care for anybody who was of a different background. Like if you were not strictly Black American, they didn't give a fuck about you. So
first off, okay, let's be honest. Okay, hold on. Let's be honest. Talk about you. They didn't care about the whole LGBTQ. No, and let's clear this up. Because in our history, we've had LGBTQ brothers and sisters who've participated in the movement and they were about Black empowerment and all that stuff. And that's a good thing that they were about that they were on that type of time. That's a great thing. But these people, like, let's take, for example, Alec Baldwin. Okay, not James Baldwin. I said Alec Baldwin. James Baldwin. Let's take, for example, James Baldwin. James Baldwin, and people knew James Baldwin was homosexual, but James Baldwin never let his sexuality be at the forefront of his agenda and be at the forefront of the movement. It was always, okay, let's be about Black people. Let's be about the movement. Let's be about that. See, if that's the case, then okay, what you do behind closed doors is what you do behind closed doors, right? In the Black Panther Party, they was very accepting of that, you know. But the thing is that you have people who try to use the Black struggle as like a catapult for another group of people's struggle. So they'll be all like, Black lives, we got to fight for Black people and Black rights, and we got to also fight for transgender bathrooms, and we also got to fight for the transgender males going into to female sports and stuff like that. That's when you start losing the plot. That's when we all like, hey, we not on that. We not on that. Okay. It's not, we're not doing no heterosexuality test. to make sure you're heterosexual before you join the movement. But when you are in the movement, if you are trying to really tether and attach a side movement to the movement, then yeah, we're gonna call that out. Whether you're doing that when it comes to feminism, whether you're doing that when it comes to classism, whether you're doing that when it comes to the LGBT, all of that stuff. And this is something that we've evolved from. That when it comes to the movement we have right now, let's take for an example reparations. Let's take for an example tangibles. You have people of different age groups, people of different religious backgrounds, people of men, women, straight, gay, all of that stuff. Okay, rich, poor, you have all of that stuff. If we're on the same code, because the code is the leader, if we're on the same code, that's all we need to focus on. We all being on the same code. The problem is you all are attached to some other identity. Okay. And you guys really want to advocate for that other identity, but you guys know that you guys need to use the black identity to kind of shoehorn this other identity or this other issue into it. And you guys are trying to convolute it and try to make it seem like there's some correlation to your other identity and your black identity and everything like that. So that's when we talk about, no, let's talk about black issues. Oh, no, well, there's gay black people. What about them? No, when we say black, we mean everybody, regardless of sexuality. But you're trying to attach some other identity and put that at the forefront, and we're just not going to have that. We can't allow it. So that's what we were on, and that's just being on code. Okay. So when they all like, yeah, the Black Panther Party didn't care for LGBT people. Do y'all honestly believe that out of all of the members of the Black Panther Party, all of the people who ever joined the Black Panther Party across the whole nation, you believe all of them were straight? All of them? Do y'all honestly believe that they didn't have any? They even had non-black people in the Black Panther Party. They had white people. They had Asian people. They had Hispanic people in the Black Panther. You think that they would have? You don't think that there was a gay person in the? Come on now. There was people in there, as long as the agenda stayed focused. All right. And there was non-FBAs in there. So she's sitting up there just lying.
So, like I said, and then she killed a police officer, and the movement she was, what was it called? The Black Liberation.
Which, based off of the evidence, it doesn't seem even possible for her to have committed that incident. Okay. She was arrested for it and accused of it, but look at how you're willing to throw her under the bus. Okay, look at how you're willing to throw her under the bus.
An army or whatever the fuck, broke in prison, took some people hostage, and, broke her out. She left in a van and all that shit, whatever, and then she fled to Cuba, but Fidel Castro granted her political asylum. And that's what I want to bring to attention. Now, you don't advocate for anybody black outside America, but the Latino countries are the only.
Okay, you don't advocate for anybody black outside of America. First off, the Black Panther Party was not on that. It was about advocating for liberation and justice in general, the concept of justice and liberation in general. But let's be honest. If you're in America, it only makes sense that your advocacy is going to be about America. That's the only logical explanation. I don't get mad when you talk about Jamaicans and you talk about Rastafarians and their advocacy is in Jamaica. I can't get mad about that. I can't get mad about the Haitians fighting in 1804 and trying to say, hey, we need to free. I can't get mad about that. I can't get mad about the South Africans saying, hey, we need to get these French up out of here and we need to get our. I can't get mad about, because they're in their homeland and their primary advocacy should be about their homeland. And to be honest, you're talking about foundational Black Americans. We are really, collectively speaking, the only group of people who said we are going to split our advocacy domestically and foreign. we're going to try to advocate for as much for foreign people as possible. Nobody else has ever been on that type of time, ever. Not even a continent. Okay, not the Caribbean. Nobody else has, and I'm not talking about an individual. I'm talking about the society. No other society of people has ever been on that type of time where they're saying we have to equally prioritize our issues domestically and foreign issues. Nobody has ever done that but us. We've been the only people who sacrificed for another group of people. Okay, not one person, whole groups of people, families of people have sacrificed for other groups of people, knowing that we wouldn't benefit from it. Nobody's ever done that. Nobody. Talk about y'all didn't do nothing for nobody else, but you're in America though. You're in America though.
Place you can go for asylum. You didn't go nowhere that was primarily black. You didn't go to Jamaica. You didn't go to, you didn't go to Africa. Why the hell did you pick Cuba? Because you know if you can't go nowhere else on this earth, Latinos will protect you.
You can't go nowhere else in this earth. Latinos will protect you. Look at the tongue. You roll the tongue. Latinos will protect you. They will not let anything happen to you. They will have your back and they will fight for you. Okay. Well, if all of these things and all of these people are just so great and all of these things, if Latinos, can I ask a question? Can I just ask a question? I know I'm asking a lot of questions, family, and I appreciate y'all grace. But let me just ask this one question. I just got one question. If y'all so strong and y'all protect people, and Latinos, y'all have your back, right? You have your back and they will protect you. Why don't y'all go home? That's my question. Does anybody else wonder that? These people are in America talking about how great another country is and how great another people is going to have y'all back. Because that's kind of odd to me. That's a little odd to me because when I'm starting to see Latinos and Latinos sitting up there crying, they out there crying about going home. These Latinos out here sitting up there crying, boo-hoo crying about going home. When you talking about some Latinos will protect you, you all know about the Latino pride and the Latinos will protect you, but y'all need to be here. Y'all don't even want to go home. All of this Latino pride and this foreign pride and this stuff like that, y'all don't, this be y'all. This is y'all. This is y'all. All of this Latino pride y'all get. Talk about the Latino pride. This is the Latino pride y'all got. Well, your Latinos will protect you, huh? Why is he scared to go home then? If Latinos would protect, if y'all known for it, having folk back like that, y'all known for standing on business like y'all say you are, why y'all scared to go home? Why y'all so scared to go home? That's my question.
So at the end of the day, it's sad she passed, but it don't affect me in no way, shape, or form. And I don't give a fuck what you have to say. Again, just because I'm black, nah. Black Panther Party really didn't do shit for us either besides give underprivileged blacks the WIC program. And that's it.
Let me tell y'all something. The passing of Assata Shakur, it rubs a lot of people the wrong way because her life is so, her story and legacy of fighting oppression and oppression not being able to capture her is so empowering and it's so lineage specific. Nobody can say she's of dual lineage or anything like that. Why she's upset? Let's break this down from a psychological perspective. She's upset like this, family, because it makes them, the Afro Latinos, makes them look real bad because they don't have a Assata. I want y'all to think about this, and I've said this before. Winners, us, me, you, winners, we don't focus on the losers. We don't focus on second place. We don't focus on that stuff. We don't have to do this. Our culture as foundational Black Americans, we have always given credit to everybody. To be honest, a lot of times we give too much credit. If we're going to go there, a lot of times we give a lot more credit than what credit is deserved. But we don't have no issue giving credit. And that's because we're secure. Winners are naturally secure people, okay? And I'm going to get to y'all super chats in a little bit, and because I appreciate y'all. Winners are very secure, you know. It's always the losers who are insecure. Do you understand that? We're so secure, we give people props kind of a little bit more than necessary. We be all like, hey, shout out to Fidel Castro. And that's cool because we're secure. I'm so secure, I don't have to strip away their victory. I don't have to diminish their accomplishments. I don't have to crowbar myself into their victories. I'm secure. I got my own victories. I got my own advocates, activists, and all that stuff. We have our own legends. We have our own wins. We have our own stuff. So we don't need to try to take from everybody else. That's a loser mentality, which is why they fled, because they got a loser mentality. They got to take. They got to take from everybody else. We the only people who don't feel like we have to do that. So when it comes to our icons, it's always, if they can't try to crowbar their lineage into the icons like they keep trying to do with Malcolm X, they have a thing where they're trying to knock somebody down a peg. This is what she's doing, because she doesn't have, there's no Afro-Latino version or equivalent to Assata Shakur. There's not even a close version. It's not even close. It's not even close. They don't have anything like Assata Shakur. They don't have anything. So she feels very insecure about that. So her response is to knock Assata Shakur down a peg. We got to knock them down a peg because we don't want them to feel too high and mighty. We want there to be an equivalent of our lineage and their lineage. We got to dismiss some of their points. We got to take, well, that really don't count. The Black Panther Party, because they don't have a Black Panther Party. Where else in the diaspora has there been a Black Panther Party movement? Where else? Nowhere else. Where's the equivalent of Assata Shakur? Where's the equivalent of anybody in the Black Panther? Fred Hampton, Huey Newton, Bobby Seale. Where is the equivalent of those people? Where? They don't have one. Okay? They don't have an Afeni. They don't have a Tupac. They don't have nobody. So, and the thing is that they got to knock us down a peg. Every time we do, they got to knock us down a peg. Let me tell you why. And it's not because the diaspora doesn't have great people. Let's get real deep. Real deep. They don't have, the reason why we can accomplish so much is because when our ancestors put forth work and sacrifice and everything like that, and they pass away, what's in our culture is these people have sacrificed, whether that's Nat Turner, whether that's Harriet Tubman, whether that's Frederick Douglass, Dr. King, Malcolm X, you know what I'm saying? Booker T. Washington, all of these, Ida B. Wells, Sojourner Truth, Rosa Parks, all of these people, they've done and they've sacrificed so much. We look at that and we don't just say, oh, that's great. We look at that and say, you know what? Let me pick up the baton and finish the job. That's how we look at that. Okay? That's how they've looked at that. That's why after there was a Harriet Tubman, there could be other activists and everything. After there was, like, for instance, Malcolm X. I would use Malcolm X as an example. After Malcolm X was assassinated, the Black Panther Party movement, they formed a year later after his assassination, and they said Malcolm X was a big inspiration to the creation of the Black Panther movement. All right, the Black Panther Party, Huey Newton and Bobby Seale, because they looked at Malcolm and they said, you know what? Malcolm was taken out, and to pay him respect, we got to pick up the baton and finish the job. We got to keep finishing the job. We got to keep passing this baton along until we get the race done, until we get the job done. Even in today's current time, this is what we're all doing here. We're saying, hey, our parents, our parents, our grandparents, our ancestors, they worked too hard for us to get right here, for us to say, hey, we're done. We got to pick up the baton, and we got to carry this baton until we complete the job, until we get the job done. That's our culture, that's our history, that's our spirit. They don't have that. They have individuals who've made great sacrifices, but the society doesn't have the feeling of obligation to pick up the baton and carry that home. They don't feel that way. So you have individuals who are from non-FBA backgrounds, but you can only have a few because they don't have the culture of saying, you know what, we gotta Stokely Carmichael, he sacrificed so much, we gotta Trinidad, we gotta pick up the baton and we gotta be like Stokely. They don't really think like that. And I'm not trying to denigrate, I'm trying to talk about the real aspect of it. This is why we keep getting ahead and we're moving and they're not moving, is because, hey, when I'm at the end of my life, here you go, here's the baton, and then I'm taking it, and then I'm passing it, and I'm taking it, and I'm passing it. When one of their runners, they drop the baton, it's game over for them. They lost. They only got one runner. We got runners and runners and runners and runners and runners and runners. We are track stars up in here. They got one runner, and when a runner fall down, it's over. It's game over. And they be trying to use that one runner or whatever the case is, and I'm like, okay, we can give credit where credit is due. We give credit where credit is due. They talk about Fidel Castro. Let me ask you a question. Outside of Fidel Castro, who else from Cuba has been on that type of energy? Name another Cuban who does that. Name another Afro-Latino. Y'all talk about some Afro-Latinas. Name another Afro-Latina who's been on that type of time. Name that. They don't have anybody who's on that type of time. And this is why they're not getting anywhere. And when we look at the scoreboard, we got all of the points on the scoreboard. And they got a couple individuals who might have a rebound, maybe, but they don't have no points on the board. She's talking about, yeah, you gave WIC. Yeah, WIC is a big benefit to a lot of people. The WIC program has benefited millions of Americans since the Black Panther Party, okay? Oh, free breakfast and all that, all of the clinics that they were doing, that benefited millions of people. All of the set-asides, the programs that they were doing, the schooling programs that they were doing, that benefited millions of people to this very day, okay? The fact that people are now recording police, when a police pulls somebody over and they, roughing them up or whatever, and then somebody take their phone and be recording them and all of that stuff, that's really Black Panther Party energy. If we're gonna be honest, let's get deep, y'all. The situation with George Floyd, why that blew up. George Floyd's situation blew up because that was recorded. Why that was recorded is because we have a history and a culture of policing the police. So when we see the police do something foul, we will be the overseers of the overseers. And that came from the Black Panther Party. So the fact that we have movements to this day is because of what the Black Panther Party was on. It's because of what the Black Panther Party did. The stuff we do today, the stuff they do today is because of that. The fact that we're saying that they need body cam footages, the cops need body cams, that's because of that. Because we have been setting the precedent and the standard that the police need to start being supervised and recorded. Even Rodney King, the fact that we had that whole thing in LA with Rodney King is because people started recording the police and started saying, you know what, we need to watch the police. As the citizens, we need to practice our right to do so, and that has been carried and evolved to this present day. All of this stuff, we're still benefiting off of we're still eating off the fruits of their labor. We're still walking in their footsteps. We still have the baton in our hand, carrying that to the finish line. Well, you want to talk about they didn't hand us a baton, and I have it in my hand right now. Running to the finish line, as you talk about, there was no baton. Yeah, there's no baton for you. You don't have one. I have one. Don't tell me I don't have one. I got this baton in my hand ready to pass this baton on. You don't have a baton. Don't tell me, don't dismiss my baton because you don't have one. Because your people don't have the culture to pass a baton on, or too lazy to pick a damn baton up, which is why y'all have to flee everywhere. Because if y'all pick the baton up like we have always picked the baton up and continued the race, y'all homelands would be a lot better. But because y'all don't have the mentality and the courageousness and the righteousness to pick a baton up, that's why y'all say, hey, let's just screw the country. I gotta leave. And y'all over here disrespecting people who are still doing the job. And then when ICE come around the corner, y'all want to talk about some unity. No, we're not having that. No, absolutely not. All of this disrespect, I'm not tolerating that. We're not tolerating that. We still advocating for the situation with the Tulsa, Oklahoma. And the bombings of Tulsa, Oklahoma, and the survivors still getting their reparations for that. And we still talking about stuff like that in Tulsa, Oklahoma, because we don't forget stuff. We never forget the job. The fact that we still, in the year of 2025, y'all listen, lock in with me. The fact that in the year of 2025, we still bring up 40 acres and a mule, that the whole agreement in the Order 15 from for 40 acres and a mule, that was in 1865. Hundreds of years later, in 2025, people who are generations and generations and generations removed from a 40 acres and a mule, we still bringing that up because we still understand, hey, that was a job. That was something that we cannot let go of. Just like this baton, we can't let go of no 40 acres and a mule. We can't let go of that. They be all like, forget about slavery. No, we cannot let go of that. And that's the difference between us and them, because they will let go. They will let go so much they will leave the whole country. We can't leave this country. Hey, I need my 40 acres and a mule before I go anywhere. How about that? It was supposed to be given to my great grandpa, so I need that today. He passed the baton to me generationally, and I got this baton. I need my house, I need my 40 acres, and I need my mule. That's our culture. That's why we are different, okay? And so don't try to knock us down a peg because you feel insecure because y'all don't have what we have. Don't do that, because we're not going to let that happen. Let me bring up, speaking of Assata Shakur, our beloved sister Assata Shakur, you had the director of the FBI, Kash Patel. Kash Patel brought up, let me pull this thing up just to read this briefly. So a lot of Foundation Black Americans, we was paying homage to Assata Shakur. We was remembering her legacy. It was a lot of us playing clips and stuff of her. And Kash Patel and a lot of the other suspected white supremacists, they didn't like that. They didn't appreciate that, okay? So FBI Director Kash Patel tells public not to mourn Tupac's mother, Assata Shakur. Now, what I find very interesting is that you didn't say that about Charlie. Y'all out here punishing folk for not mourning Charlie. And Charlie didn't do nothing but try to ruin the lives of black people and made the lives of black people even harder than it was. And y'all out there, damn it, reprimanding everybody and punishing folk for not mourning that racist. But when it comes to Assata Shakur, you got the nerve to sit up there and talk about she doesn't deserve mourning. I'm going to read this a little bit, okay? FBI Director Kash Patel is warning Americans against romanticizing the late Assata Shakur, Tupac's godmother, by calling her a, quote, terrorist whose death should not be mourned. Really, Cash Patel. Okay. Okay. In the fury of posts on X Sunday, Patel referred to Assata by her birth name, Joanne Chrisamard. Lord, I know I mispronounced that, and rejected any suggestion that she was a freedom fighter. He suggested that she be remembered as the FBI as long categorized her a convicted cop killer who didn't fight for justice. Okay, Cash Patel, that's very interesting that you bring that up, Cash. Now, you got all this smoke. I mean, he has smoke. You got smoke for our sister Assata Shakur. My question is, dude, what's going on with the Epstein files, man? You talk about folks being a menace to society. Assata Shakur didn't do nothing nearly that Epstein did, nothing nearly on that type of page, nothing nearly on that type of time. So what's going on with the Epstein files? You got a whole bunch of smoke for somebody who was a hero, and it don't matter what you say, because she's going to be remembered as the hero, the heroine that she was. It don't matter. You can be the FBI. The FBI, y'all have shown y'all were criminals. If anything, y'all were the bad guy. Y'all are the bad guys in the situation. Y'all were the ones assassinating folk in they sleep. Okay, locking people up for no reason, trying to plot on people and getting leaders assassinated and spying on people, talking about black unity as a threat to the nation. That's what y'all was doing. So nobody's going to talk about she was a terrorist. Y'all the terrorist. Y'all are the terrorist. Y'all focused on us. Y'all focused on Assata. Y'all need to be focused on other things, because y'all got other problems right now. Y'all not focused on the real terrorists out here. All of this stuff happened. I want y'all to understand this stuff happened in 1 month. All of these people, members of the dominant society, happened in the same month. Okay? Let me show you this clip. You got everybody knows about Tyler Robinson, the person who tapped Charlie. You got a bunch of you got a couple of school shooters in there. You got an ICE shooter in there. You got somebody who just shot up this church. You got somebody who just shot up a church the other day. While you want to talk about Assata Shakur,
news, the FBI
focusing on Cash Patel. You need to be focusing on the dominant society, but you're not trying to label them as criminals. He's not trying to do that.
FBI is investigating a targeted act of violence at a church in Michigan. There, a man opened fire before setting the building on fire as well. In all, 5 people were killed, including the gunman, while 8 others were injured. Roop Raj, the evening anchor at our Fox affiliate in Detroit, has been reporting from the scene all day and is joining us live tonight. And Roop, this has been a tragic day.
So not only did he run into the building and start opening fire, he also set fire to the building. He set the building ablaze.
For your state.
Now, didn't they say, weren't y'all arguing about some black on black crime and how black on black crime is tearing up the country, and what is the country going to do about all this black on black crime? I'm going to tell you one thing. In the month of September, I've seen an unprecedented amount of white on white crime. It's just been white on white crime every other day. We didn't even got these many days, and it's just white on white crime, white on white crime, white on white crime. Where are y'all at? Y'all care so much about crime. Let's talk about some crime then. And this is just a violent crime. Y'all be doing a whole bunch of other blue collar crime all the time. While y'all want to focus on us and make us the criminals.
It certainly has. We're coming to you from about an hour away from Detroit and about 20 minutes away from Flint. So we're just kind of in between the two cities, if you will. And in this small town of Grand Blanc, Michigan, about 400 yards away, there's a church that, of course, you've been showing pictures of all day long, and the whole country, the whole world has been watching. Inside of this Church of Latter-day Saints, there were parishioners who were there starting the morning off, presumably about 12 hours ago, expecting a nice day of calm prayer, when suddenly they heard a big bang. And it was that bang that was actually the pickup truck that slammed into the front of this church. And when that happened, apparently people thought, okay, maybe someone had a medical emergency. Some people started running outside the church to see what had happened. And when they ran out, this man, Thomas Sanford, investigators say, came out and just started spraying bullets in the parking lot. He was killed there in the parking lot, but not before shooting 10 people inside the church or right outside the church in the parking lot as well, and also setting fire to the entire church. And when he did that, there were so many people who, of course, were trying to get out. They were actually covering children and older people with their bodies, trying to take care of those who are more vulnerable around them. And as they did that, the fire then started, and it's unclear if there were explosives that were inside as well that may have caused the entire thing to then go up. Now, I can tell you right now that some of the people we spoke with, they say that the ones inside that building are, simply put, heroes.
It's very tragic, and that's not what our community is. I'm confident that we're going to overcome this, as Graham Blink always overcomes these type of incidents. And also like to acknowledge the heroism of not only the first responders, but the people who were inside that church at the time.
Look, y'all got a problem with your own people, with your own community, and y'all keep trying to recenter and refocus on what are black people doing and all of the crime in the black community and the fatherlessness and all of that stuff, and y'all are in your own community wiping out your own people. All of this stuff. Can't blame none of them on black folk, and yet the media doesn't want to pay attention to that. Y'all are not paying attention to the real threats of the country. Y'all are so hyper focused on making sure that the country sees us as the enemy, and y'all are ignoring the actual problem. These people are the actual problem. These people are the actual problem. And they get ignored because y'all want to find some way to make us the problem. And y'all got these terrorists running around, domestic terrorists running around of these people, of your complexion, of your community. And you want to dismiss that because you want to, let me talk to y'all. They want to dismiss the real threat because they don't want to treat them as the problem that they are. Okay? They want to focus and make society see us as the issue, see us as the problem. So everything is about, well, what about Chicago? They always say, what about the crime in Chicago? What about and when they say the crime in Chicago, they mean black people. They don't mean no other group of people when it comes to the Chicago crime. They mean black people. Well, what about black on black crime? And what about the father? What about hip hop? What about this? What about that? They keep saying these things, and they want to distract from the actual problem because these people's culture is corrosive, is destructive. And when you say, hey, honestly, we need to analyze our own community, then when they analyze their community, which is why they have such a refusal to do so, when they analyze their community and you compare their society, their level of civility, their level of dignity and humanity and respect for other people, when they compare that to us, we're better. We're better in these aspects. We're better in these aspects. We don't do the things that they do, which is why they want to dismiss that, because the second they pay attention to it, the second they say, okay, we're going to look at their community or our community, and we're going to focus that inward. When you compare their crimes to our crimes, it's no comparison. You couldn't possibly make us the bad guy if you actually paid a single moment to looking at their community, which is why it's always a dismissal. It's always an excuse. It's always a rationale and a justification. Because the second their community really gets fully analyzed, they will be the villains of society. The second you analyze the depravity, the proclivity to violence, okay, the amount of the lack of decorum and sympathy and empathy and humanity. Remember, Charlie said he didn't believe in empathy. You think he was the only one in that community to think that? You think he's the only one in that community to think that? The second these people get analyzed, they will be seen in the world as monsters. So they can't do it. They can't afford it. Not for 1 second. Not for 1 second. They can't do that. Because you cannot make us the monster if you actually see the real monster. If the world actually sees the real monster, they can never make us the monster. They couldn't do it. This happened yesterday. Let me show you this. When you actually talk about the monster while y'all focusing on Assata Shakur and trying to make sure that people don't mourn her, y'all need to be focusing on y'all own community. Y'all are the last people to sit up there and try to criticize somebody.
On top of all this breaking news this evening, mass shooting at a casino in Maverick County. That's what we're getting to first. At least 2 people killed, several more hurt. Law enforcement is investigating just outside of Eagle Pass. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mandy Noel. That shooting just before midnight overnight at the Kickapoo Lucky Eagle Casino and Hotel. A 34-year-old man now facing capital murder charges. The casino, located on the Rio Grande, is about 20 minutes outside of Eagle Pass and nearly 200 miles from where the suspect, 34-year-old Kieran Jones, was arrested in Wilson County by Texas DPS. According to the Eagle Pass News leader, Jones previously served in the National Guard. News 4 San Antonio's Destiny Fuller joins us now live from Eagle Pass, where the Maverick County Sheriff spoke very briefly just in the last hour. Destiny?
Mandy, that's right. And after a long day in Eagle Pass, this was the first press conference that we heard for the day. And like you said, the sheriff, Mr. Tom Shermer, kept it very brief, saying that this is still early in the investigation. Here's what he said. Deputies were dispatched to the casino around 11:45 last night to help Kickapoo Tribal Police secure the area while they searched for the shooter around the Kickapoo Lucky Eagle Casino. He got away and was later found in Wilson County.
Now, I'm going to just pause it right there. Y'all remember, and I know they listen, I know they do. Remember how Steven Crowder was talking about black people need to be responsible for the crime in the community? Where is Steven Crowder now? Where is Brandon Tatum? Where is all of these conservatives who are so concerned with crime? Because I'm seeing unprecedented amounts of incredibly violent crime all through the nation, and I don't see them saying anything. Now, you know for a fact if this happened in Chicago, they would be all like, oh my God, what do we tell you guys about Chicago? Chicago's so bad. We already know them blacks, these black people, they're just so violent, and y'all liberals keep letting them slide. Y'all need to lock them all up and throw away the key. That's what they would be saying if this was in Chicago, but this ain't in Chicago. This didn't come from our community. This came from their community. Radio silence from them. Fox, what do y'all got to say? Y'all don't got no think piece on the culture. Y'all don't got no think piece on the fatherlessness and the toxicity of the music that they listen to. Yeah, because y'all don't want people to see them as the monsters that they really are. But we see it. And the thing is that they're cutting their nose to spite their face, because the more they try to hide, their monsters and the monstrous environment that breeds them, the worse it gets. The worse it gets. The more it's like, have you ever had mold in a house, or do you guys know how mold works? If you have like let's say clothes, you have wet clothes in a basement, the sleeve might be molded, might catch mold, with like pretty much bacteria, fungus, all that. And then it starts to spread and grow and grow and grow and grow. And the more you ignore it, the worse it gets. This is their society. Also, like cancer. Cancer starts in one part of the body. The problem with cancer is that cancer has a very uncontrollable growth rate where it spreads, it infects everything, and because it creates more cells than the body needs. Okay, it creates an unhealthy amount of cells, and the body can't regulate that. And unless you eliminate that right where it is, then it's going to spread all throughout the body, and you have it all throughout the body, in your bones and all of that, in your organs and all of that. And this is what they get. This is what they get: the mold and the virus and the cancer, because you guys don't want to take the time to analyze your community, because you know you will never, if they do that, they will never be able to look back and say black people are the problem. They will never be able to do that again. So in order to make sure, they're sacrificing themselves in order to make sure that they can die on the hill of saying black people are the problem. They're willing to have monsters be bred in their communities, go to schools, take out children, go to churches, take out the people there, than to lose the privilege of saying black people are the problem. That's how deep it is to them. That's how deep it is to them. Listen, if they want to do that, then fine. Let them ignore that. But we're not going to do that. And what's bad for them is good for us. Because the fact that they keep trying to focus on black people, the blacks are the problem, black people are the problem, when we can look at our youth and we can say, I don't want you guys to ever listen to them. Don't ever let them try to shame you and try to belittle you and try to make you feel lesser than. Don't ever allow them to do that, because these people are hypocrites. Every time they have stuff like this go on and they don't have the same amount of energy, they don't have the same amount of anger that they would if these people were black, it exposes them for being the hypocrites that they are. They can be hypocritical if they want to, because them being exposed as the hypocrites that they are, that's empowering for us. Because then we can look back and tell our children, hey, if they talk about black people are violent or black people IQ and black people this, black people that, look at what they got going on in their community. Look at what they do to their own people. Look at that. And look at how they don't care. They literally don't even care about the safety of their community because they're so obsessed with focusing on you. Don't ever feel like their community is better or you're lesser than, or you come from a people that's lesser than. So really, what's bad for them is good for us. Okay? Because this just reinforces who the real good guys are. Honestly. It's a shame. It really is that it even has to be this way, but they've made it this way, not us. They made it this way. That's on them. That's on them. All we got to do, family, is we got to keep focusing on ourselves. We got to keep focusing on empowering the youth. I got this little baby right here. Okay? Beautiful little baby. We just got to focus on making sure that we carry the baton and finish the race. Or at the very least, get as far to the finish line as possible and then pass the baton. That's all we need to keep doing, because these people are destroying themselves. And we're empowering ourselves. So things are working out. We're doing what we got to be doing, and we just got to keep it up. Family, I appreciate you all. That will conclude tonight's live stream. Thank you all so very much. I appreciate that. Let me get to some of the super chats because I didn't get to any of them. So let me get to that. Okay. He says, tell it like it is. Says, I'm hollering over here. I totally forgot about super chats. I'm not going to do that next time. Forget. I'm hollering over here right now. Afro Elite, he going home. Yeah. Then I guess I still got some pop. I'm about to smash this popcorn. I just don't want to get butter all over my fingers, but I'm about to smash this popcorn in a minute. Dakota Jenkins, he says, FBA should simply let ICE do their job. That's true. Immigration doesn't benefit us, and the Democrats are promoting them to make us permanent underclass. That's very true. So it hurts us that they're doing that. Okay. Darlene, thank you very much. Darlene, Omar, thank you much for that. Latinos have to pay their dues the same way Black Americans did. We have 400 years of receipts. We do. And we're not carrying the water for nobody else. Flint Water, speaking of carrying water, Flint Water says, you're right. They have no fight in them. They don't. They don't carry the baton. We do. We do. We carry the baton. Okay? And that's all we just focus on what is your position, what baton you need to carry, and run with that. Run with it. Run with it. And make sure you pass that on. That's all we need to do. And that's what we're doing. So, family, thank you all for being with us this evening. Y'all make sure that y'all hit that like button, that y'all hit that subscribe button, and that y'all hit that notification bell. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe button, and the notification bell. Please and thank you. Thank you all so very much. I appreciate every single last one of y'all. I really do. That being said, we ended off the month. I think we ended off the month really well. I am so excited for you guys to see what we got going on next month. I'm so excited because we got some new stuff, new equipment and stuff like it's going to be a lot better. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Going into October, I got some stuff ordered coming in. It's going to be great. It's going to be really good. So I'm excited. I'm excited for that. I am. The improvements of the channel. I'm excited for it. And I want to thank you all for being here with us. With that being said, family, you all have a good night and y'all stay blessed.